Hello, my beautiful Gemini friends, and welcome to our November 2021 reading. This is such an interesting time of year. It's so powerful. This Scorpio season is asking us all to take care of the places that want to be healed, that need to be healed, that need extra loving support, extra time of deep connection. So that's going to be a huge theme of this Scorpio season. And there's a ton of energy there. We have Mars in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, and a new moon in Scorpio, all working to kind of do the deep sleuth work that is Scorpio season. And add on top of that there is a full moon partial lunar eclipse in Taurus, your neighboring sign, in the 12th house for you, which is deeply spiritual, reconnecting to source, reconnecting to spirit, reconnecting to the hidden, unseen interconnectedness of it all, which can be a trippy wild ride, but also so rewarding and helpful for kind of shifting our perspective. So that's going to be a powerful eclipse for you. And then we move into Sagittarius season, your opposing sign. And so as the sun and Mercury start moving into that energy, we're starting to work with your, what I call mirror season, when it's a really great chance to just take a look around and see how we're devoting our energy, how we're showing up in our lives. Is it working? How do we want to connect with others? How much have we grown since Gemini season, right? And, this is just an interesting time in general for you all. We're getting really close. We're in the last couple of solid months of the North Node in Gemini. And I always find when a North Node is moving through your sign, it's like this big spotlight just shining on all the ways you're meant to grow and expand and explore and become. And that can feel really amazing and energizing. And it can also feel very challenging and like you had to learn a lot of new information in a very short amount of time and kind of master it. And so one of the things I also want to say about November for you all is like, over the next couple of months in general, you are going to notice you're kind of starting to wrap up some of your lessons that you've been learning since the North Node moved into your sign, which I believe was in May of 2020. And all that you've been gathering and acknowledging during eclipses that have been in your sign, the North Node being in your sign, all the energy, all that flow that's been working with you. And here's the thing. I think it's probably been a mixed bag the last year and a half. Isn't that life? A mixed bag of things happening. It's all these contrasts and emotions, but it's probably been a mixed bag on the one hand. Many of you have probably felt empowered, alive, and have learned and grown so much in the last year and a half. On the other hand, there's probably been some heaviness and some depth. And one of the messages that came up for Gemini as I sat with your energy and felt through it was, the next couple of months are important as far as processing, taking care of ourselves, because we are not meant to carry the weight and the intensity of the last year and a half with us into 2022. We're not meant to just haul that along with us. We're supposed to process it, incorporate it, integrate the important information, take care of the inner parts of ourselves that have been stressed, and then let ourselves be at peace in moving forward. So this is a really important Scorpio season for that, as well as Sagittarius season. And I just find this to be such an interesting, nuanced couple of months coming up for Gemini when it comes to understanding how you have grown. So November could reveal a lot to you. And one of the things I would say is just give yourself the credit of all that you've learned and mastered. Take the time to really acknowledge all of that. And the other thing I would say is, as we move through Scorpio season especially, notice, your rituals and routines. I always find for me, like about every 6 months, I need to shift up, how I'm getting up in the morning. What are my rituals for the morning? What are my rituals for the evening? I have to shift those and make sure that they really are reflecting how I'm wanting to use my energy and show up. 6 of Swords, leaving behind an old shore. And so this is a really great time to just take a look around and notice if there's anything that's working or not working for you. Anything from, what you're having for breakfast to how much time you're spending, with certain friends. The sun. Love it. Let's pull one more. 7 of Cups. That 7 of Cups is very much an energy that makes me think of November this year and some of the behind the scenes work that's going on in general this Scorpio season and this particular November of 2021. Actually, I want to pull one more card for you guys. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, 2 sevens. Time of assessment. Time of assessment. And that is for sure, November is a really great month to just take stock. Just take a breath and take stock. So let's talk through these. Right away, 6 of Swords. It kind of goes back to that message I was saying a little bit ago about we are not meant to carry the last year and a half like a bundle on our shoulders for all time, right? We're meant to integrate it, process it, take the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding with us, but not to carry it like a heavy weight on our backs. It hasn't been incorporated, processed, acknowledged, loved, healed, connected, right? And how I think because we are coming to these last couple of months of the North Node with you, there's a sense that, you're leaving behind one energetic chapter and you're kind of getting prepared for that, right? Like whatever it was that you've been learning over these last year and a half, 18 months or so, it's going to be time for a different energetic state, and that eclipse, that full moon, partial lunar eclipse is going to start to give you a clue as to how you're going to maybe be learning via this North Node shift in the new year, because you're going to be having a lot more emphasis, Gemini, on your connection to spirit. And when you're cutting yourself off and when you're letting yourself go there. So the 6 of Swords to me is really heralding the beginning of a new adventure energetically, of the beginning of a new phase where you're going to be exploring different aspects of yourself and not just the ones that you've been doing for the last couple of years. And that's really interesting. I almost feel like 6 of Swords here is kind of like a teaser. It's just giving you a glimpse into something that's wanting to burgeon to life. Now, I find it interesting in this reading because you can see the raft or the barge or the little rowboat, I guess, is going toward this sun, and the sun, what a playful energy. I mean, compared to the 6 of Swords, the sun is just so lighthearted, playful, not very concerned about what could go wrong, what might go wrong, what has gone wrong in the past. There's just this free-spirited nature to the sun energy, right? It's childlike joy, it's childlike creativity. It's a return to a purity of heart that it's so easy to lose being a human being when hard things are happening, right? It's so easy to get disconnected from it. So one of the things I'm noticing is a return to this playful sun-based energy, which is all about creativity. It's all about accessing life from that playful, curious state before all the conditioning set in, as like 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, before all the hard things that have happened, right? The traumas, the griefs, before we had, we made those big mistakes where it burned us a little and we got a little more cautious. I mean, yes, there's a good side to learning those lessons and becoming more of like a conscientious being. Sure. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that, but there's a part of that just trying things out kind of mentality that we lose. And so you're getting encouraged here to reconnect with that part of yourself, even if just for a few minutes a day. What does that part of yourself, that free-spirited, creative part of yourself that isn't in worry mode, where is it trying to lead you? Where it's tapping on your shoulder and it's wanting a little attention, and where is it trying to take you? So there's that. There's also this interesting energy going on here. And like I said, it really reminds me of some of the themes of Scorpio season for Geminis, as well as Sag season when that opposing energy is coming in, because these Seven of Cups and Seven of Pentacles are assessment cards, one on the hidden energetic level and one on the practical physical world. So they really work well together, because for me, Seven of Cups is going to be about letting yourself float up to the energetic realm, right? Into the soulful realm, and dream and notice where you're getting drawn to. Notice what you're wanting to pick up. Notice energetically what you're drawn to. And, that can be both, that you may be drawn sometimes to old patterns that feel familiar, but you need to let go of, as well as being drawn to things that you really want to pick up. So it's a great time to just kind of notice where your energy is being called to. On the same front, Seven of Pentacles is really a time to look around and notice what projects, what environments, what routines you have around you. What's working, what's not. What do you want to come to complete harvest? And what are you just like, this is not worth the time, effort, energy, tears, stress, unknown about. So there's a very strong sense of deep assessment here. What are you letting yourself just like have fun and play in? What are you forcing yourself to pick up and keep doing because you expect yourself to do it? And really, really, like I said, just take a solid look around and don't take anything like for granted. And I mean that in the sense of like, sometimes we have a routine, an idea of what we have to do, right? And it's so locked in there that it just seems like the truth. Like, this is just how it is. But it's sometimes funny to think like, oh, well, I could move those meetings around so that I do them at a different time of day. And that would feel so much better to me. Oh, I could shift gears in what work I do in the world. Or, oh, I could ask that question of my partner, right? Like, there are these places that we just don't even question. Like, maybe it's not even possible to shift them. But in November, it's important to really look at your routines, your surroundings, anything with kind of fresh eyes, like the sun energy, right? Like that kid who's never seen anything before. How does your inner child feel about that? How does your inner being feel about that? Is it working for you? Where do you want to make adjustments? Even if it feels really intimidating and like you're not allowed to make adjustments, go to that fantasy realm. If you could make the adjustments that you're longing to make, what would they be? And let yourself go there too. Like if you want a career change or a housing change or a schedule change, let yourself at least be with the thought of it, even if you don't know the how yet, even if it feels like a very far-fetched thing to even bring up. This is a great month to just take the time to look with fresh eyes. I also have some affirmations to close out our little chat today, so let's get into those. I welcome new routines and habits that support me. I am ready to close out old chapters. I reconnect with spirit and find a sense of safety and belonging in the unknowing. I accept my growth with grace and trust. I am meant to live in peace. And it is such a month of growth and deep soul healing. So I'm really excited to see what it brings all of us. I'm very curious as well. I would love to see you here. So let me know how it's going for you. What themes are coming up for you? How has it been feeling? Leave some comments. Let me know what's been going on, my friends. And I'd love it if you like to subscribe and hang out. It's just always so good to have some friends here. I'm just hanging out here, talking, and it's so nice to have people join me. Of course, I also have Patreon, which is a really, really great way for you to support me so that I can keep showing up and doing this work, and for me to support you and give you those extra weekly chats and all the resources for like eclipse season and this closeout of 2021, the opening of a new year. There's so much we're about to cover in the coming months. So I'm really excited to share that. So I'd love to see you on Patreon, as well as my Instagram at Vrba and my website. So I'll leave all the links for those below so you know exactly where to find me. And I love you guys. I love you, Gemini. Have a gorgeous November and take such good care of yourselves. I'll be back with you soon to cover more of the Sag season ahead.